teammate from high school, Dustin's teammate in college. Here he is, Mike Doss. We've had Mike with us before. Mike, what's up, man?
What's up, fellas? Let me make sure I get that little ring off of the video so Tyvis can see my face up close and personal. What's going on, fellas?
Michael Doss.
What's wrong with you?
D Fox, what's up, baby?
Man, if only he had one more button to get up there, you know?
You know my style.
I know. What's going on, brother?
With that button up there.
Not much, man. Just,
Yeah, just selling me out on golf last week, yeah.
Oh, man.
Had a tea time set and everything.
Sorry I had to beat up on you last week.
No, it's okay.
But you got some Pro V1s in a hoodie. You snuck them Pro Vs in.
You know what? I got to say this. So last week, last week in October, before the Nebraska game, I'd never been to Captain's Dinner, so I went down to Captain's Dinner, had a midweek game, so I didn't have a game on Saturday. It was fantastic, but I have to tell this story first. So on Friday, actually earlier when we got texted Doss, let's play golf. And so Doss sets us up tee time at his country club. Perfect. Now, the weather was not great to start, but it got beautiful later in the day. Point being, Doss is my hero because he handled the day just like I would do if I was having a friend come to town. He made an itinerary for me, set it up, met him at the golf course, golfed. I mean, I was on scholarship. It was great. The whole day. and on top of the scholarship, bro, golf and food and everything, I got swag.
Oh, you had a swag bag for you?
Well, I went to the pro shop.
Oh, listen, okay.
And on Doss's house account.
That's dope.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother.
Hey, I blessed him, G. Bush. You know how Stark County boys got to take care of Stark County boys.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Got to
show love.
Now, Mike, hold on. G. Bush was complaining earlier that he has never been to your house, that Dustin's been to your house, Tyvis has been to your house, but that he's never been to your house. He's a little insulted by this. Not sure how you want to handle it.
He hasn't been to Columbus in 10 years.
I was literally going to say he hasn't driven past Mansfield in probably 10, 15 years.
Right? Hey, like I went to the last time I was in Columbus. This crazy. I was hanging out with LaCharles Bentley, and I said, "Oh, listen, you going way too hard, dog. I ain't got it like that." So I don't go down past we're not going down I-71. I'll go down to go to OU, but I don't be in Columbus all that. To be fair,
why?
I don't be in Columbus like that.
Why?
I don't do away games. I'm all home games.
I consider both of them my home. So
hey, Doss, we was talking about this. It's kind of funny, man. We was talking the other day. We was talking about safety play. We was talking about how the Browns couldn't get no communication off, right? How the safeties would be delivering the communication and stuff, and they didn't know if they was in cover 1 or cover 3, right? And cover 2 or whatever the case may be. And Dustin brought up the point, and I laughed my tail off because it was facts. He said, well, I had Mike Doss, right? And so when we playing, I'm in the secondary, I turn around and like, Doss, what we doing? And I'm like, yeah, man. I said, he'll tell me we had hand signals and everything. And he's like, yeah, man. So I didn't even have to get in the huddle. Doss would tell me what to do. And I said, but what is the hand signal for when Mike Doss says I'm about to just go do something on my own? Does he guys like, because I know what's coming.
There was no hand signal.
It was just like.
There was no hand signal. He would just look at me and say, Fox, are you on your own? And then I pissed down my leg.
How does that work? Because at every level, I laugh because I used to be, I tried to get it off. I said, well, Mike Doss is running his own stuff. I got to give me some numbers. How does that work where you can get that off at every level? Is it just something you see? Because now safeties don't even get picks no more. They have them playing in the parking lot.
Whoa. Chill out.
They do.
They don't.
How was you getting that off?
Well, I mean,
you want me to answer that for you? You want me to answer for you?
I would tell. Yeah, I got you, Fox.
Okay.
So we were students of the game. During the week, we would watch the film together, the secondary and our back seven. Actually, the linebackers at Ohio State, Wilhelm, C. Grant, and those guys, Robert Reynolds, and we would all call the calls. So when we knew it was a play or a formation where it would say deemed for me to make the play, I would go, oh, it's time for Doss to show up. It's actually play might come my way, but then if I seen it even going the other way and I knew I could make the play, I would be like, Fox, I hit him with the rub. Once I wrote that
Yeah,
form,
I'm in
you
zero.
man.
Man.
Hey, you by yourself. You by yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I would just go make the play. So no matter, I was a play diagnosis kind of guy. I knew the plays and I schemed guys up. So when I felt that play was coming, I'm just going to make the play. Forget my responsibility. I can have curl flat or whatever, but I know that play is going away. I need to be that extra fit in the run game. I'm gonna go make the play versus standing, covering dirt.
How much harder was it in the NFL to know you? It seems like in college you knew everything, you knew every play. Was it much harder to do that in the NFL?
Yes, it was very hard. A lot harder on Sundays, especially in a true scheme like Tampa 2. We had Tampa 2, a couple covered 3/cover 9s. So we were a defense where everyone had to be in unison. But in cover 9 or cover 3, where I had a little bit more freedom for curl flat or, tight end coverage, I would know the play would still go the other way, read the scheme and go make the play. And I got yelled at. I actually got cussed out. Coach Tony Dungy, I never forget it. It was my rookie year. We're playing the Carolina Panthers. They got Stephen Davis, big running back. That's the year they go to the Super Bowl. And the Panthers go to the Super Bowl and lose. But I'm coming down. I'm in the run fit game all week. I know I'm going to have a great game. And there was a couple plays where I came out of my defense or I beat the Mike linebacker. The Mike linebacker might have been supposed to spill it to me, and I would beat him, and I made the tackle. So on TV, Hobby Long, I get player of the game on TV. I grade out on TV, player of the game, Mike Doss, 12 tackles, sack, 1 PBU. And I come in the film on Monday morning.
60%?
And, I got like a 55% from on the defensive score. I'm looking at Coach Dungy. He like, hey, Mike, come in my office. So he pulls up about 3. he pulls before the defensive meeting. He pulls up about 4 plays, and he the quarterback hikes the ball and he freezes the film. He goes, "Is this a run or a pass right here, Mike?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a run." He about to hand it off to Stephen Davis. He runs it back again. He does one of these. Can you tell me if this is a run or a pass, Mike? I said, "It's a run." He about to hand it to Stephen Davis, and I come in and make the play. He goes, "Now, if he play actions that tight end is butt naked, for a touchdown." He goes, "We can't have you do this. I understand you have a lot of instincts and intangibles. That's why we drafted you. You're a great player. You're going to do great things here. But you cannot beat out the defense to the play. You can't be the first person. You got to let other people do their job." And he's like, and that's when I learned. I said, "Man, this NFL is a real business." Last year, Foxy, everybody, coaches, D'Antonio, great job, Mike. You made the play. It's like I'm All-American in Columbus, and they like, "Hey, if you keep doing this, you're gonna sit the bench. You can't beat the Mike linebacker to the ball." And I was like, "Oh,
unacceptable."
Yeah, and the thing too, in college, you get away with so much more in college. Just the quarterbacks aren't as good, and the ability to recognize something and to get out of or check out of something or see that you're doing it just doesn't happen as much. The league, it's so much faster. Everything. The players are in college, Mike. I mean. Yeah. Receivers are running open. These quarterbacks are, they're okay, whatever. But in the league, dude, it's a different deal. I get it. And these jobs, man, they fire coaches quick in the NFL. So a coach sees you do that, he's like, he knows, hey, you made a great play, but dude, the next time, my ass is on the line.
Right, and it's a copycat league.
Yeah,
because Dungy's like, the next 3 games. That team's going to line up in that formation, and they're going to play action the shit out of you. They're going to throw it to that tight end, right? Until you decide to until you decide to do your job. So he goes, everyone's looking for the advantage. You just can't give the offense that advantage. Mm-hmm. So he's like, that's basically where he was coming from.
Mike, what you just said is the reason why they stopped letting me blitz at Ohio State. So we had this delayed blitz where it was perfect. It was a delayed safety blitz. You better have safety. You can't go down too early because you can't be included in the count. So you got to time this thing up right? So how it went was our Mike linebacker would blitz the A gap first. The center would go with him. The wheel backer would go blitz the A gap behind him. The running back is going to take him. I delay blitz behind him. It's just me and the quarterback. So we get it done in practice, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this about to be sweet money. But, when you get in the game, you can't hold it. Like, you know what's about to happen.
That adrenaline rush.
We called this blitz, Mike. I was through there before both linebackers. I blew the whole thing.
You know what, Tyvis? The crazy part about that is we used to have this blitz at McKinley called STEM Ohio. And this dude, so Mike Doss used to just he just walk on the line of scrimmage. It's like a bare front. And I loved it so much because I was like, listen, they going to blitz Mike Doss, but I get to drop off into coverage.
Oh, really?
It was like a zone blitz. So me, I'm like, listen, I need to stand up on this play. Can you let me, you got to let me stand up. So I start backpedaling I was like, I got the tight end right here. They're like, listen, bro, you're back, you're out of your stance way too early, bro. Why are you standing up? I would purposely get down late so I could just stand up because I was like, Florida State ends be standing up. I want to stand up. They got great gloves. I got great gloves. So they used to have this blitz of Mike Doss. You just go. And the craziest part about it is not only did they let him at every level get what he wanted off with playing, they would let him get stuff off with equipment too. I said, yo, how do you have a dark shield?
He was the first guy in Stark County to have a back flap.
He had the back flap. This is 98. He had the rolled up joint with the back flap.
I never seen a running back with a back flap until Mike Doss. In high school. Like the pros, like Eddie George didn't even have a back flap.
We used to go, Tom McDaniel used to be like, listen, y'all better not have nothing on y'all's feet. We played this team called Marion Harding. And Mike Doss comes out now. He comes out. He has his socks rolled down with these white cleats with some red on them, like they look like they was the red spats. I said, "This is wild." I was like, you know what? I got to do something. He's balling too much. This is unacceptable. We on TV. I go tell my man. Go tell my man. Hey, Mikey B. Hey, go get some of that electrical tape. we didn't have no black tape. We out there with electrical tape.
I would have made you take that off too.
We slipping and sliding. We got electrical tape on the back side. Yeah, that ain't no regular tape. Man, they ran back that film. They said, you know what? Who's giving out this black tape? And Mike Doss, you're out here in this red spats. What's wrong with you? Man, I turned to my dude. We had a dude named Marcus Daniels. I said, he's a backup quarterback.
I remember that name.
Mark D gave me the black tape, dog. Yeah. We had to run so much in practice like the next day. But I was like, he'll never get that off. He'll never get that off at O State. Yeah, let him get a single digit, and he had a dark shield. Who gets a dark shield?
How did you get number 2 coming in?
Dude, unbelievable. Well, look at this
Come
guy.
on, man. Listen, I told Coach Coop, I said, Coach Coop, I'm coming to Columbus. I had a 2 in all my jersey numbers since Little League, but I want to be a single digit. And he was like, there was a receiver or somebody, and he was like, they're leaving. We'll make sure you get number 2. You good. So then when this is before duplicate numbers was like heavy. We see it all the time now. So when I came on, I saw we had a kicker named Eric Stevenson or something like that, and he had number 2. And I went to Coach Coop. I said, man, it can't be 2 number 2s, bro. You got to have dudes change this number. I said,
Doss wouldn't have no double number, man.
He bullied the kicker out of the
He had to change his number to like 89 and 93 or something.
To 89.
You got to change your number. But equipment-wise, Foxy, well, no, I need to call Jordan Brand right now and actually get my NIL conversation from 2002. Me and Foxy were the first athletes in college football, wearing Jordan wristbands. Where the Jumpman, I had the Jumpman headband on the ESPN magazine for sure.
That was God, that was the coolest thing ever.
And
Nike let you
and I was wearing Jordan.
And
I was wearing Jordan cleats in the game. So
did you spat that up?
No, you had to rock them Jordans.
The only spat I remember, weren't you spatted up against Michigan in 2001?
You wore the 9s at Ohio State.
Oh, he wore the 9s. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you towing the line.
I got a whole rookie card. Matter of fact, I might have it. Let me see if I got this picture. Let me check my cards.
Hey,
see if I got a picture of this.
I would have spatted them. If I was gonna wear some Jordan cleats, I'd have spatted them so Nike wouldn't know that they wasn't Nike cleats.
Yeah, Nike was really hard on us about spatting.
They was hard on us for sure. But no, we had a great time. A lot of time.
How much would you? So this is wild. I know you and Fox probably think about this. How much would you have gotten in NIL if you were still?
We should file a lawsuit and get, since they giving it to 2016, we could go back because I missed it by 1 year.
You guys would have made millions of dollars.
They giving out like $100,000.
They're not paying a white corner $1 million. I'll tell you that much.
And with the NIL, would you have considered going to another school besides Ohio State if somebody offered you more money?
I mean, it's hard to say. You know what I mean? That's 25 years ago, but it does depend on the number. I mean, if Penn State or somebody would have came to the house talking about, here go $500,000 to play here, and Ohio State was talking about 100. I mean, that's a $400K difference. You know, it's a huge deal. But it's a good thing we didn't have those problems. So at the end of the day, I mean, Tyvis knows. Hey. I wasn't the guy who actually got the envelopes, but I was the guy who had the hookups.
If you remember, Doss, I mean, you guys got lucky because, we won the title in 2002. He's a senior, right? So the seniors could, after the game, go make all this money.
That's right.
And y'all made six figures. You had to,
Oh, yeah. I crushed
at least.
I crushed them.
In like a month or two. Like 2 months?
Yeah. Yeah, about 2 months. I crushed them in the autograph game. And the bobblehead. My first check after I got my first check, after the celebration, they handed me $20,000. I got $20,000 right there.
It must be nice.
Right now,
by the way,
we went to the.
Who was? I'll ask this to both of you. Who was the biggest trash talker on that Miami team when you played them?
Kellen Winslow.
He was the biggest.
Kellen Winslow. Yeah, Kellen Winslow. Yeah, and Sean Taylor. I mean, he was on defense, but his energy. Every time we run off and on the field, he was woofing. He was woofing.
Did y'all?
God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Did y'all? I'm gonna give you, because this is weird. Like, it was so funny. Like, I was in college at the time, but at the time we let's not get it twisted. That's Miami. Mm-hmm. That's Willis McGahee. We used to play the game.
Andre Johnson.
Santana Moss. Come on. And So when
I played against Santana Moss in '99. Yeah.
When y'all played them, it was funny because it was like, it's your childhood friends, like that played it. Like, it was a Stark County game.
Kenny
like
KP had a big sack.
C. Grant, everybody was playing. So it was like, yo, we see you, we like, dang, like my childhood friends is playing Miami. Like, did y'all look at it kind of a little, like, did you look at it like, are they good? Or obviously, did you look at it like we could beat them? Or,
well, it depends. Ask him and ask me. It'll be different answers.
Right.
So our perspective was, it's a different day and age. The national championship game and the playoffs now here. We had 40 days to prepare. So it was like a full month. We had a whole month off, and we literally watched every game they played. And we wrote down all their plays. We were scheming. We were sitting, even studying on our own. Like I said, the back seven, we would call out the plays. So when they came out in the first series and Wilhelm called the defense and they lined up, we calling the play out. We literally calling their plays out like, are they about to run X? Boom. And they ran it. Boom. Kenny get the sack. Boom. We'll get a sack in the first series. So next thing you know, they just running the same play. They've been running all year. They haven't schemed us. They ain't came with no new game plan, no new wrinkles.
Yeah, they're just
Bruh,
not playing.
it's gonna be a long day,
dude. They had so many. They were in the Big East, I think, back then, weren't they? And they played Temple, dude. Like they're putting up 90 against Temple and these other teams, and all of a sudden they play a team that's sort of equal to them in terms of athletes and talent, and way more discipline. Let's be honest, than those guys. And they didn't. They were shell shocked. And thank God we got out to a lead because I don't think we'd have come back.
Yeah, they literally thought they was gonna roll their helmets out, and then
Correct.
we just showed up for their party. And at the end of the day, all that talent, all the X's and O's, it really came down to 3 plays, but we dominated them that entire game. We really, if we just had a little bit more offensively, but not to put up, points. Nugent missed the field goal. He hadn't missed all year.
Right.
They didn't call a holding penalty in the fourth quarter on Gamble. These kind of things. But we really dominated them outside of probably 2-3 plays. They were lucky to get into double overtime with us, is what I say. And they really had a chance to beat us on 4th and 16. You tell me Craig Krenzel was going to convert to Michael Jenkins on 4th and 15. I believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because we did it against Purdue. But if you look at their defense, there's no chance he's going to convert this against, Sean Taylor, Vince Wilfolk, William Joseph, DJ Williams, Antrell Roll. These dudes are Pro Ballers, Hall of Famers. They got 3-4 Hall of Famers on their team.
Man.
Jonathan Vilma. So these guys, so at the end of the day, that's to me, that's the greatest game of a national championship that was played. Everyone could talk about Vince Young, the individual, game in a sense against USC. But I tell people all the time when I'm a little biased, but a game from the beginning to the end, that was probably one of the better games in college football championship history when you really watch it, knowing the storylines.
Probably 100 guys from that game played in the NFL.
That's crazy.
I'm not even exaggerating. Our entire defense got drafted. Every player on our defense that started that game, drafted. Same with those guys.
Everybody.
That's nuts.
Everybody.
You got several Hall of Famers off of that one game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm lucky I'm blessed to be a college one.
Yeah, newly to the College Football Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Really quick, is the Buckeyes going to the first of all, Caleb Downs, is he good? How you like him?
Yeah, he rocking the 2.
How you doing? How did he get that off? Is the Buckeyes going to the college football playoff?
Oh, they're going to the playoff. Come on.
Oh, absolutely. Come on, man. That start of the momentum. Did you watch the last highlight film of the post game, Fox? Did you see that? With Day in the locker room and the build up and practice.
Them dancing and stuff, or what?
Yeah,
Which one?
It's like a 90-second video that they just rolled like a day or two ago, where they show Day practice all week. He's talking about the moments and hey, this is what we're gonna have to make a stop here. We're gonna have to make a play here. We're gonna take control of the game and impose our will on Penn State,
and it
happened. No matter what, and it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So
I didn't see it. I'll check it out.
I think that us obviously taking that loss against Oregon was a big loss, but I think it was a growth moment for our team. What we were going to learn here over the next month of football is, can we continuously improve weekly and be prepared for those moments? I think they were very prepared last week. It showed the way we dominated there in the fourth quarter. Now we cannot have a letdown against Purdue. We got to go out to Northwestern and play those guys, but the Indiana game and that team up north, that will I like our chances to make the playoff. I think it's going to be a great game in a few weeks against Indiana. That probably will be the Big Ten championship before the rematch against Oregon in the Big Ten championship. So, it's a lot. You still got the rivalry game. So to answer your question, GB, yes, I believe we will make the playoffs. I believe we should make a deep run. I think we learned a lot about our team here last week.
Great stuff, Mike. It was good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, when I come down, I don't need a scholarship. I just want Pell Grant. Go ahead.
Like Killer does.
Hey, what Fox didn't tell you is we went over to the walkthrough over at the facility, and Fox was like, "Hey man, I ain't been here in about 15 years." He's like, "Can I get some gear?" I said, "Man, I got you." We walked right into EQ's room, and Fox went Christmas shopping.
Oh yeah, Kev hook it up now. Kev hook it up.
That was a good day for you.
Yeah, what?
And my kids. I got gear for everybody. I walked out of that motherfucker with a duffel bag.
That's right. Thanks, Mike.
He got a straight Buckeye issue bag and was carrying it over his shoulder like this, jumping in the truck.
Yeah,
going to the
and
team
boxes
dinner.
of shoes.
He's going to the team dinner like he got hooked up. So good to see my guys, Tyvis, Foxy, GB, man. Love you guys. You know, and if y'all coming back down to Columbus, you got to come to the tailgate. So you already know every home game, my tailgate it keeps going and going. So. GB, I know I won't see you, once I come up north. So,
all love. You know what I'm saying? You know how we get down.
I'll see you in the Muni lot. You know what I'm saying? I'll see you in the Muni lot.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
So, Mike.
All right, guys.